Hey guys, Stephanie here. Hit that like, subscribe, and share. Let's get into this craziness. All right, so we have housing is a human right. Tacoma Housing Now. All right, now remember how Antifa set up their own autonomous zone, and city officials, the police, nobody did anything, right? Like you have the right to protest. But at the same time, nobody thought about all those business owners and people who lived around there that suffered, right? Okay, so you have this group, Tacoma Housing Now. It's a human right, okay? So they go into Seattle and they buy several rooms for homeless people. They pay for one night, right? Then after that, they refuse to pay anything else, demand that they get a free stay and that the government should pay for it. And lo and behold, who are they? Antifa. Who's behind them? Soros. Imagine this, okay? All of these people, they're all like these weird white looking people. I mean, let's be real. I mean, they're just, you don't even know what they are half the time. You have to literally seriously think to yourself, okay, is this a boy or is this a girl? And like the Democrats right now, Nancy Pelosi, trying to pass a bill to ban he and she pronouns to where we don't even get recognized as our gender. This is the mischief they create, okay? So the irony of this hotel in Seattle and them demanding, equal rights, and aren't all these white Antifa people and Black Lives Matter white people against, like, hurting the little man and all that, and immigrants? Yeah, the hotel owner is an immigrant. And he's literally getting zero support from any elected official or the police. So he's like, I'm going to have to give up my property. I can't afford to pay my workers. I mean, but yeah, this is a man who pays taxes on this business. Does anybody ever think of how asinine and ass backwards this crap is? I mean, think about it. What if that was your little hotel? What if you have a hotel, you're just minding your own business, and because Trump won't let the Democrats get away with mass voter fraud and let China Joe for Obama and Hillary in their third term take over, and Trump's like, man of, brass balls, like, no, I ain't got shit to lose. Nobody does. None of us have anything to lose at this point. And everybody tolerated BLM and Antifa at first because it was for the black peoples, for brown people. Well, you literally had Antifa overthrow a hotel now that's a private business that pays taxes and pays the salary of the police and the elected officials. And what do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So how fair is that? How's that equal and just? He's an immigrant. He's not some rich white guy like they keep telling everybody. No, not at all. What are the consequences? None. Why? Democratic state. And I find it really odd that, like, people are starting to, like, piece together this. Because I'm going to tell you something. All right? When you have people excited, like, I got my $600. Okay, I don't know what land y'all live in. Okay, but, like, I'm a woman. I got two daughters. This may be too much information. But things that I normally buy for, like, feminine hygiene and stuff like that, and, like, razors and, normal, like, because I go to the grocery store every week. I buy the exact same stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing the prices go up and up and up and up. And I'm sitting here and, like, people are on Twitter, I got my $600. Or, like, making memes about it. You should be very insulted. I mean, to me, that's like, shoot, just for four kids. Well, three kids and me, but I eat like a kid. So I count myself as a kid. But then my 2 dogs. Yeah, I spend about $400 a week on just the necessities, like air filters alone for your house. I mean, I used to get mine, the good ones for like almost 17 bucks per filter. Now they're like almost $30 a piece. You go on online like to Amazon or anything like that to get toilet paper or paper towels delivered. Wow. The pricing is crazy. And I'm like, what? Feminine hygiene. I'm seeing my like it started probably about 7 months ago, and I realized, damn, it's like almost 20 something dollars more. Then it's like almost 50 something dollars more. Then it's like almost 80. And now I'm like, shit, I know this because of what happened in Venezuela. People go on like Amazon, go, I know, hypocritical to say, but seriously, get as much as you can in bulk right now because inflation is real. If you watch what was done into Venezuela and how it was, you know, slow, but you know what kind of attack? Well, it's happening here, people. And this isn't about Republican, Democrat. We're in a war that people don't even understand. And people think that, oh, our government will save us. No. No, honey. Not even Democrats. Remember, they can go get a blowout, get their hair done. But if you're a salon and you open your salon, you lose your business license that you paid for and you paid taxes on. But not if you're one of them. See, do you get what I'm saying? So I'm noticing not only that, like dwindling supplies too. And it's mainly like with foil, like also I would stock up on like vinegar, baking soda, things like that. Um, yeah, You need to find like ways to get around inflation because 2021 the dollar is going to depreciate by 20%. And from what we've seen so far, from our history being erased, our statues being toppled, okay? The mainstream media, okay, if you go on YouTube, you go on anything, and you look Insurrection Act, martial law, Civil War, it's been CNN, MSNBC, it's been all of those mainstream outlets saying this way before Trump even ever mentioned it or Flynn. Remember Hillary Clinton, all of them were like, he won't leave office. They've been saying this for years. This is like the ultimate mind control, manipulated matrix. And people don't understand. Like, the real polls show that 60% of healthcare workers don't want to get this vaccine. But on TV, you literally have like reality star news anchors. I mean, basically, it's like reality TV. It's not even real journalism. It's not even real news anymore. It's just drama and gossip. And he said, she said, tit for tat. Everybody's got their own, view and their own opinion, and everybody thinks their opinion's right or wrong. And at the end of the day, it's like, no, dude, there's a constitution. Sorry you don't like Trump. Get the fuck over it. You're gonna make it. Admit that Obama was a treason. Ooh, like all of them. All of them. I hope that this whole trending January 6th thing is real because I'm done. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, how, like, and that's the thing. They're telling you, oh, look, I'm getting the vaccine. Oh, look, they are. People, it's literally people just like me talking into my camera and posting this video on YouTube. I'm not a famous celebrity. I don't have like, mansions and all this other stuff. So I guess because I'm not a celebrity or famous, my opinion doesn't count. But if they put me on a mainstream outlet and I told you this, and then the other ones parroted it, that makes it real. That's I mean, science. I mean, come on, science is forever changing. I mean, it's common knowledge. And that's why they want to keep everybody at home. They're doing more intense lockdowns. You know, we have been taken over from within. Black Lives Matter and Antifa, this is not a movement. This is not about equality. It's not about black people. This is the Democrats' new KKK. It's like their own domestic terrorist group. I mean, doesn't anybody find it odd that 6 Republicans have been found dead in the past few weeks that are about to get put in office? Nobody questions that, the mainstream media. Instead they talk about like the dumbest shit. But what was really cool for the New Year's Eve ball thing, watching Andy Cohen like tell de Blasio, I don't want to watch him dance, tell him to get the city back together. Yeah, we're all thinking about that about all of our cities. And like Whitmer, I guess she's going to get back in line now because, they want to recall her. So she's like throwing people some bones. I'm telling you, these people are the snake in the grass. Snake in the grass. Now you got a bill in New York. Remember when I told y'all about Bill HR 6666? And people are like, no, it's just an emergency. They really wouldn't do that to people. That's just a conspiracy. Fuck you, I was right. Kumo is trying to pass a bill. No, it will pass. And weird and oddly, it is on January 6th that it passes. And they're contact tracing. Remember how I told everybody, put your phones on airplane mode or don't even take them with you. Like, if you're going to be out, not wearing masks, going to social gatherings, and not obeying, and you're going to be one of those rule breakers, they told us at the very beginning of this outbreak that they were basically doing an undercover kind of contact tracing through our phones. They were watching our GPS to see, just to get estimates and figures on how far people are traveling from their home. I'm like, that's weird. Why are they monitoring? It was a 2-week lockdown. Why are they monitoring how far the average person is actually going away from their home? And now Kumo passes a bill that goes along with HR 6666. And now if they say that you have been in a location that somebody tested positive for or even showed symptoms for it, they don't even have to be legit sick. They could just say, oh, you sneezed, oh, you coughed. Does anybody realize how weaponized this has become? So now you have their contact tracers and their health department and their health officers, kind of like Hitler's, squad. So how could this not be weaponized against, like, Gavin Newsom is trying to be recalled. We don't want, the nursing home massacre to continue in New York. So we're trying to recall him too. We're trying to recall these corrupt people. And then they conveniently pass laws that are so vague. Like, you're going to tell me that because if the government was looking at where I was going on my phone, even though I didn't even download an app, and they say, well, somebody may have been in contact with somebody. That's like me saying, my sister's cousin said this 2 years ago at a barbecue when we were taking shots of tequila. That's about how much sense it makes. They now have the right to come to your house and put you in an isolation detention center for disease risk, super spreaders, basically people who are not obeying the mask, people who are opening their small businesses and refusing to shut down, people who voted red. Anybody that threatens their power, they will find ways to take them out. In the ancient years, they did this through heresy and blasphemy and all that. You know what I mean? Like, if you were into mysticism at all, they would accuse you of heresy and blasphemy and witchcraft, and they would kill you. Well, that's what's happening now. You speak out about our government? Well, no, Democrats. But I mean, right now, Republicans, I'm disgusted. I am so disgusted with all of them. Like, ugh. They just, and I know that they probably get like death threats, and they have kids to worry about, family members to worry about. But at the end of the day, what about us, dude? And I find it weird, like right now, and on Yahoo and stuff like that, they're like posting bad things about Obama and what he did in his administration. And everybody's all this hype. January 6th, Kumo passed that bill to be able to detain people and have people put in detention centers for possible disease spreaders, or they may be infected by the flu. I'm like, really? Seriously? As they sit there in their little perch bubbles, while you're literally in food bank lines thinking these are the people that are going to save you when they have purposely held you back. They're doing this for a reason. Another thing they're doing is 3D print meat. Oh my God. I was eating yesterday, totally lost my appetite. 3D print meat. Look, global elites. We don't want your Luciferian crap. We don't want your Luciferian shot. We don't want your, fetus riddled meat byproducts. They're announcing how, like, a lot of fast food chains now will be using hydroponic grown food and this and that. And they all say it's because of climate change, right? No. That's not it. It's because the solar minimum, solar flares, like our magnetic poles are shifting, and there's going to be huge catastrophic events that happen. Like the Great Flood and stuff like that. When you look at like ancient pyramids and all these hidden technologies and all these other civilizations and the Great Flood story, and how when man tries to become God, that's when it ends. Think about it. Even Elon Musk and like other like theologians say that the chance of us actually being in a simulation is accurate, because we're not this material world. We are energy, we are spiritual. And that's why these globalists want to keep killing that spirit. That's why they don't want us to get together. They don't want us to worship. They don't want us to have any kind of light in our soul. They want us depleted and miserable and dead inside. And they keep giving us vaccinations and fluoride in our water and all these toxic pharmaceutical drugs and vaccines. They're killing you spiritually. Okay? And it lowers the earth. The earth vibrates at a certain frequency. So do we in our heart. And there's so much misery and chaos and suffering around us. The whole entire planet is negative right now. It's on such a negative frequency. But you see conductors that they're making to where they can actually try to make their own Big Bang right now. All right. And through like all of the ancient civilizations and all that, like in the story of the Bible, well, right now we're getting really close to that with like this 3D meat and, with gene editing and, making designer babies. We are literally playing God. But say we live in the simulation. And have you ever noticed like every ancient civilization, they'll have like this high amount of technology, right? And they just like are gone from the earth all of a sudden. What if when we don't live simply, we try to play God and we try to be the eternal and not realizing that we're eternal within? Once we try to beat the simulation kills us. And then we start all over again, hence reincarnation karma. See what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm really into that kind of stuff because I truly believe it. Because, I see all these people walking around talking about my life, this. No, baby, please. Okay, I grew up white, never privileged, had a very hard life actually. Went through a lot. Went through a lot in my childhood, was traumatized. Had more trauma later in life that I didn't have help with. Ended up having a tummy tuck, got hooked on Percocet, ended up getting a felony, went to prison, went to rehab, like, but I realized it was all in my head. Everything I was doing, all that sabotaging, like people who are doing these things, it's because spiritually they have things that aren't healed. And instead of people talking about how to heal within to where we can grow and be a better person, it's more like a taboo thing. You just take medication and you're kind of shamed, or we're not we're not programmed at birth from childhood at all to learn how to cope with life at all. Think about it. It was, toughen up, don't cry, get over it. And even this day and age, every kid gets a trophy. We're not going to have the same testing standards for certain, races of kids. They're literally holding us back and not saying, look, things you do have consequences. That doesn't make you who you are. You did something, it was a life lesson. You learn from it, you grow from it, you become better. But actually, it's our own politicians and our own society that puts the stigma on things. And the stigma only comes from what's trending. So, fuck the stigma and all this other crap with these new strands and trying to literally make people go, oh my gosh. I say we start boycotting all that, because I don't think this thing with Kumo and these, isolation, disease spreader things, this isn't a joke, you guys. This is going to start happening more quickly than slowly. I mean, think about it. Can you imagine only eating meat and like vegetables that are grown in like a lab? And all of the billionaires are backing this. Actually, they've created breast milk, synthetic breast milk, that is supposed to be better than women's breast milk. So now women are being, before it was breast milk, breast milk, breast milk. Now the elites are saying, Bill Gates and all them, oh my gosh, I forget what the name of the company is, but it's kind of like plant-based. Y'all, okay, the Food and Drug Administration, because of COVID, was able to basically, they could say plant-based and it's, none of this, none of that, and it's not true. They can word it how differently now. So why do they want to take us away from the earth and things that we should do for ourselves? We should cultivate our own food. We should be dependent on ourselves, not dependent on a government with their lab grown meat. And what is the outcome? Like, ugh, vomit. Ugh. So fucking gross. But people should be offended by that $600 stimulus. It's a disgrace. And on a lot of things that you're seeing, like the prices rise on, you should start stocking up now. For real. Because 2020, people are going to wish they would go back into 2020, no joke. Anyways, love you guys. Hit that like, subscribe, and share. Love you. Have a good night. Bye.